Hey losers, I am Bobby Black from the Unsquared Circle, bringing you the true face of pro wrestling, also in collaboration with WrestlingRevolution.com, the center for all your wrestling needs. I'd like to welcome you back to another week of Smackdown, but first off I'd like to thank my new subscribers, which is Bayray1991, Blue Star D6, and Oli Wufei92. I hope I said that right. I'd also like to thank all the people who left comments on my video last week, which is Johnny Awesome 24, Classic 1333, Zamario Wrestles, or Zamario, whatever, DW Squirtle, Glenn Jones 1000, and Howard the Man. I'd like everyone to leave comments, even if it's just a little one-liner or something you disagree with me on, leave it. I'm up for talking, debating, chatting. Also, you can go to WrestlingRevolution.com and you can start a forum thread, and you can go into the chats, or you can even leave a comment on my profile page there, because it is the epic center for all your wrestling needs. I would also like to obviously promote the site, and there'll be a link in the description box. I'd also like to announce that next week, since Smackdown is live on Tuesday, I'm guessing I am going to be live on Tuesday. We have a channel called, a blog TV channel called Top Rope TV, and next Tuesday, while Smackdown is live, I will be hosting the live Super Smackdown chat/telecast. So there'll be a link in the description box. Go there. You can also, if you register on the blog TV site, you can friend us, and you'll be informed on all of our shows, because we do shows every Monday night for live Monday Night Raw. But that's just that. Anyway, let's move right into Smackdown.
Get ready for the Smackdown! Get ready for the Smackdown! How you gonna react when you're put on your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the Smackdown!
That's right. This week's Smackdown is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We kick off the night with Bret the Hitman Hart coming out, and just basically coming out and saying that Teddy Long can't be there, and that he's gonna run the ship this week. Yay! I'm stoked because I love Bret Hart. Bret Hart's one of my favorite wrestlers. As you can see, I got the hat. I have a T-shirt, but it's packed away. But he announces that he made the Smackdown for next week live, and he says that Henry versus Orton will take place next week on the live Super Smackdown. However, Christian comes out and says that he has, he contractually has a rematch, which most wrestlers do. So I'm kind of glad they're doing it this way, and I kind of predicted it, I think, too. I think somewhere I predicted it. But Christian says that he blames Edge for his loss at the Royal Rumble, good lord, at SummerSlam, and because he was so discombobulated, so he wants his rematch. Bret Hart says that Christian is an embarrassment to Canada, and Bret Hart's never done anything that is an embarrassment to Canada. And then Bret says, fine, you know what, I'll give you a rematch next week for the world title against Randy Orton in a steel cage match. So we're going to get a steel cage match for Randy Orton and Christian for the world title next week. Yay! Mark Henry comes out and says that he earned the title shot, and that he wants to face the winner of Christian versus Randy Orton. Well, duh, you're the number one contender. Technically, they're just fulfilling Christian's rematch clause on a non-pay-per-view program. After that, Sheamus comes out and says he's going to castrate Mark Henry, which is kind of gross, but whatever. And Sheamus gets in the ring and beats down on Mark Henry until Mark Henry rolls out of the ring, and Sheamus is standing kind of tall at the end of the segment. It was actually a good opening segment. I just wish they would have used Bret Hart a little bit more, but they kind of, once Mark Henry came out, because Mark Henry was talking about being in the business for 15 years, being in the WWE for 15 years and this and that, whatever. But, I don't know, it was a really good opening segment. We go to the first match of the night, which is Christian versus Daniel Bryan. I don't want to say by far, but this is definitely the match of the night. I give it 5 out of 5 Black Rangers. This match was great. Great way to kick off SmackDown. These guys did a great job working together. This is a feud that I hope they get into, is Christian versus Daniel Bryan after after this whole thing with Orton is finished up with. So, awesome back and forth, but in the end, Daniel Bryan misses a double knee or an Elijah Express or D'Angelo Dinero Express in the corner. As he kind of stumbles out of the corner, Christian hits the kill switch for the win. So, awesome opening match, 5 out of 5, hands down, match of the night. Second match of the night, which is Wade Barrett versus some random jobber, unnamed jobber. I'm going to have to kind of explain this ranking after I give it to you, but I gave it 5 out of 5 Alpha 5s. Now, I usually use the Alpha 5 ranking for, like, squash matches with, like, Khali or Big Zeke Jackson or someone like that. But in this case, the reason why I gave it 5 out of 5 was because there was no match. And Barrett basically got on the stick and said this local, I don't think he used the word jobber, but he said this local person is beneath me. And why you have me in this match, I have no idea. So kudos to Wade Barrett. And I agree with him. Wade Barrett needs to be doing something a lot more than squashing a jobber. Third match of the night, which is Sin Cara 1.0 versus Heath Slater. I gave this 1.5 Yellow Rangers. I know they had to do 2 takes on this, and it was a very short match. Heath Slater jumped Sin Cara right off the bat. There was a little bit of outside action, and then Sin Cara came in with the win. I mean, they got back in the ring and he got the win. Pretty much Sin Cara 1.0 is done. We're going to be having only Sin Cara 2.0. For some reason, Sin Cara 2.0 just looks weird to me. Like, the body structure looks weird to me. I like the look of Sin Cara 1.0, but I mean, if the guy keeps screwing up like that, and they had to redo a whole match. And I mean, the second match was horrible. Fourth match of the night, which is Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiasi. This is probably the second best match of the night. I give it a 4 out of 5 Red Rangers. Before the match starts, Cody gets on the sticks and says he performs miracles and that he's going to resurrect the prestige of the IC title and Ted DiBiasi's career. This was a good match. Both guys going back and forth really well. These guys know each other pretty well in the ring too. These guys all work together with Legacy, and yeah, I got it right this week too. They worked well with Legacy together, and they just know each other really well. Towards the end, they were just basically reversing each other's finishers. Randy Orton got out of a Dream Street, and then Ted DiBiasi reversed a RKO. He also reversed that Orton backbreaker into a roll-up, which I thought was pretty cool. Nothing spectacular, but I thought it was kind of cool. And then Ted DiBiasi was going to go off the rope, like not long after Randy Orton did, to do that short arm clothesline or whatever he does. Orton reversed it and went for the RKO for the win. So, I'm sorry, I probably didn't do that match very much justice, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. Afterward, Cody hit a crossroads on Ted and bagged him on the head, just because apparently Cody Rhodes is sick of Ted DiBiasi's failures, I guess. I don't know. I mean, shame on him for not beating the World Heavyweight Champion. Alright. Fifth match of the night, which is Kelly, the Divas Champ, versus Tamina. I gave it 1 out of 5 Pink Rangers, only because this wasn't anything, really. These two were kind of sloppy in the ring, I thought, so I don't know. Next we have a backstage segment with Khali and Mahal, and Mahal basically, they asked Mahal about, last week and Mahal getting eliminated, and Mahal basically blamed it on the Great Khali, and he said that the Great Khali has been re-educated. Sixth match of the night, which is the Great Khali versus Big Zeke Jackson. I give this 3 out of 5 White Rangers. This was actually a pretty good match for two big guys, and I'm really impressed at the end that Zeke actually got the Great Khali up in a torture rack and made him tap. And that's and also the Great Khali accidentally did the head chop on Jinder Mahal, knocking him off the apron while the ref was distracted, and then Zeke got him up in that torture. I mean, he held him up there. I mean, he got him up there on that torture rack. So that's pretty impressive. I was impressed. So I gave it 3 out of 5. These two guys did pretty well together. Next up, we go backstage with Randy Orton. He talks about Christian and Henry both vying for his title, I guess, and I don't know, whatever. A nice video promo package with which I call, gosh dang it, I'm a popular person. With Henry's Path of Hunger is what I call it, the video package, because at the very end he says he smells Orton, or he's looking at Orton, he smells him, and he says, I smell you. That's my cheeseburger. Nice as that sphere, but you know what I mean. Anyway, 7th match of the night, which is Mark Henry versus Sheamus, the main event. Pretty good match. I gave it a 3 out of 5 Green Rangers. Also was the Booker T quote of the night, which it will be.
I'm going to tell you, just to put Mark Henry on his back like that with a test of feet, I mean, that was huge.
What's a test of feet? I mean, was he like mixing like a feat in itself and a testament? I don't know what that word means. So anyway, but the match was really good. I gave it 3 out of 5 Green Rangers. Sheamus plays the chop down game because he's gonna have to beat the mess out of Mark Henry's legs to chop him down, keep him on his back. Sheamus does a nice spot, which I will give the move of the night, where Sheamus reverses a gorilla press slam from Mark Henry into a floating DDT. I kid you not. He went from up here to down to the DDT. These two sold it well, and did it well too. They make their way to the outside of the ring, and they brawl. Of course, they're throwing each other. Mark Henry is going to do a world's strongest slam on the commentary table with Sheamus. Sheamus gets behind him. Sheamus hits a bro kick on Mark Henry. Oh, and then he flies over the announce table, lands on the floor. Sheamus throws a chair on him, jumps back in the ring, and the ref counts to 10. Mark Henry loses by countout. Now, normally, I'm not a fan of countouts, but this one was done really well. And it kind of made sense with the SummerSlam countout on Sheamus. So, afterward, Sheamus and Mark Henry fought outside. Henry then hit a world's strongest slam on the steel steps on Sheamus. So Mark Henry, at the end of SmackDown, was standing strong. Really good, I mean, a pretty good match. I mean, you know, maybe I'm not giving enough justice by 3 out of 5, but the afterward stuff made it better. I would give this night of SmackDown as a whole 4 out of 5 Blue Rangers. A pretty good SmackDown, pretty good effort by, you know, and Bret Hart was on it. Shoot. Should be 5 out of 5, but I can't do that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that wraps it up for this week's SmackDown. Don't forget, next week I am going to be doing my live Tuesday night SmackDown review on Top Rope TV. Don't forget to check out our website, WrestlingRevolution.com. Go there, go to the Revolution shop, and as the broski of the month, year, century says, buy the t-shirt, follow me on Twitter, I don't have a Facebook, buy more merch. See? Merch. See? And what does this mean? You'll have to stay tuned and listen in to find out. I'm Bobby Black from the Unsquared Circle, and I'm out.
This Tuesday, it's Super Smackdown, and it's live, featuring the superstars from Raw and Smackdown. Sin Cara challenges WWE Champion Alberto Del Rio. And for the World Heavyweight Championship, Christian battles Randy Orton inside a steel cage. Super Smackdown.